sad boys. How are we doing? It's the year 2022, and I want to. As we're progressing as a human race, I think it's also important to look back at where we've been. Where have we come from to be the people that we are? Since it's 2022 and every day seems to be a constant state of crisis, it's always nice to look back at a simpler time and admire when things weren't so complicated. I'm not the only one feeling a little nostalgic because our congressperson here in the United States, a person in charge of people, I assume, one Lauren Boebert, who is the congresswoman for Colorado. I personally don't know what issues Colorado has been facing lately, but I'm glad that things are in a well enough state that she can contemplate the morality of a song from 20 years ago. Has the delusional left canceled Avril Lavigne for this yet?
He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious?
Now, I don't know if I'm particularly part of the delusional left. I like to consider myself my own personal brand of delusion, thank you. He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? She's correctly gendering the people in the story. I'm just gonna assume Avril Lavigne, not problematic, or maybe that is what I am here to find out. I think it's about time I sit down and listen through platinum selling album Let Go. I will not let go because I had never grabbed it in the first place. I have never delved into Avril's music. What was happening in 2002? What was our world like at the time? I can only speculate. I was but a child. What I do remember is I wasn't into her, but maybe it's about time we give Avril Lavigne a fair shake. I'm GreysonTodd. Let's go with Let Go. Bada boom. Before we get started though, I did happen to notice that there was a new Falling in Reverse song, and I think I owe it to you to give it my live reaction. A couple of things. I do really love Ronnie's late life turn into a Danzig-like figure. The long black hair, the unnaturally large biceps that no lead singer really needs. Singing about the creepy crawlies, the ghoulies, the bumps in the nights, the zombies. Now, it seems to me that Ronnie here is saying that they'll cancel you, and you too will be zombified. You got kicked out of Escape the Fate. If people were gonna cancel you, I think that was it. I don't know if you're canceled anymore, Ronnie. Speak your shit, my dude. I would hate to be another zombified Twitter user, baby. Ronnie, whatever you're going through, I trust that you will make it through it. You have been through the ringer. I'm not gonna cancel you. I'm so sorry. Back to the main topic. I may not remember much about 2002, but I definitely remember how it sounds. And it sounded exactly like this. We were in a dark place. Look at her. Look at that cardigan just dripping over her baggy cargo pants. She doesn't care. She's in a state of distress because the world is in distress. Why can't we let go? Why can't we move on and find peace in the new millennium? Though this song seems to be more about a personal confrontation between her and someone who she feels is throwing her away. Am I just some chick you place beside you to take someone else's place? A rebound, maybe. The old reliable. This first song feels pretty in line with Canadian alternative. It's funny how, like, Canada's best artists are just, like, perfectly fine, suitable background music. Except for my boy's Pup over here, best goddamn record of 2019. And I will say, despite the production quality, Avril Lavigne does feel like she's coming from a real place. And I just noticed that my Young Justice background is still up. I need to change that right now. Music at this point, rock music, was sort of in a post-grunge slope where there wasn't really that net sound, that new thing to kick it into gear. Plus, we were all chronically depressed from the terrorism and wars. That tended to suck the wind out of a lot of art at the time, making it a little weird to go back to. A little low energy, was hoping it would pick it up a little more in the chorus, but it never quite got there. It instead fell onto that older rock sound, that more down, kind of drudgy rock sound. I'm gonna give it a soft jam it.
Life's like this.
Yeah. Life's like this. Yeah. That's the way it is, baby. You can feel the maturity pouring through within these opening chords.
Look like a fool to me. Tell me.
It's a little hard to take this song in on its own terms when my only exposure to it as a young child was Weird Al Yankovic singing "Why'd You Have to Go and Make Me So Constipated?" A song about constipation. Parody. It's weird to switch gears, take in the non-ironic version, take it in at face value, especially when we had that opening, when we open with the uh-huhs. If you just take it on a lyric level, I don't find it any different than any modern day emo pop punk song. Chill out, what you yelling for, lay back, it's all been done before. And if you could let it be, you will see I like you the way you are. When we were driving in your car and you're talking to me one-on-one, but you become somebody else, around everyone else. You're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool. You look like a fool to me. So tell me, it feels like in A Day to Remember song, be it with some more simplistic rhymes that they probably would not choose. It just happens that the production of it makes it feel like this weird bratty pop song, almost Ashley Simpson-like, or when a celebrity, an actress, is told, hey, you could have a music career. I really think the production is doing it a disservice. If this song was more stripped down, if it felt like a Liz Phair song, or somebody who's just playing out of their garage, in their bedroom, it would have a little different effect to it. But because it is so produced, it feels like this grand adult rock, alternative rock. This is serious music, much like the Creeds or the Soundgardens, the Audio Slaves. So it's this weird paradox where it's trying to sound more mature than it is, but it ends up sounding even more immature because of what it's not. Needless to say, my feelings on the song are complicated. I don't think it would have been such a big hit if it wasn't catchy as fuck. It is 100% an earworm, and I wonder if you could have that hook in the more stripped down popular version. Just want to question the part in the chorus where it goes, life's like this, you and you fall and you crawl and you break. It gets me frustrated that life's like this. You and you fall and you crawl. It's just a weird step in the rhyme scheme that doesn't quite work, and I don't know why they had her phrase it like that. I'm giving this song a slam jam with this production, with the acoustic guitars, with how moody the backing track is. It takes away the seriousness and makes it feel like a parody of itself, which is why Weird Al probably chose it.
He was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. He wasn't good.
And then we get to the titular song, the song that Colorado Representative Lauren Boebert, my first issue, keeping the E in skater. Poser alert. I appreciate the BOI spelling of boy, but no one wrote skater with the 8 in it and followed it with an ER. And if you're really cool, you drew the backward corn R. Remember corn? They had a backwards letter in their name. You can't type that. But is there anything objectionable in this song? If I'm going to be the fair and honest representation of the delusional left, then I must see if this song is truly a candidate and up for the cancellation. He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? They're children, teenagers, horny. Of course they're gonna attract to one another. Put any two teenagers in a room anywhere, they're gonna try and each other. Then we get a little more information. He was a punk. She did ballet. Now, I don't know Avril Lavigne's vision of a punk. I'm assuming she's just saying someone who plays punk music, as we will find out later in the story. And then she does ballet. Two different worlds. One is clean and proper. You have the moves, you do the twirls, and the other one, you have the guitars, so you drink the beers, you put the safety pins through your cheek. What more can I say? They're just two different people. How can they see eye to eye when they're worlds apart? He wanted her. She never tell that secretly she wanted him as well. If I am gonna put my dumb hindsight goggles on and critique the feminist theory that is Skater Boy, then the first issue I would have is perpetuating the narrative that she secretly wanted him, even though she said, "See you later, boy. I don't want to date you. I have a promising ballet career. If you just pursue a little harder, if you just try a little harder, maybe you can break through." She's just playing hard to get. Secretly, she wants you too. In her secret diary, she might be writing, "Oh, I love this punk boy. This punk boy gets me going." Can Avril really say that? She is a third party. She is a witness to this dynamic. But all of her friends stuck up their nose. They had a problem with his baggy clothes. In the early 2000s, for some reason, punk, because of Blink-182, I think, skater aesthetic was wearing like the biggest, baggiest fucking clothes you could, because I think a lot of that hip-hop culture was being introduced into skater culture at that time. So you saw a lot of mixing with the genres and the styles. Her friends did not like it. I'm assuming her friends also do ballet. That dirty skater boy is no good for you, girl. Don't you go for him. He was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy." He wasn't good enough for her. She had a pretty face, but her head was up in space. She needed to come back down to earth. "Oh, you're too good for this, skater boy. You have ballet. You have friends. You don't like baggy clothes." I think Avril Lavigne is being the judgy one here, not the girl in the story. We're getting a little glimpse of the future. We're going into the future. 5 years from now, 2007, mind you. She sits at home feeding the baby. Where did the daddy go? Avril, Avril! You can't make a baby in isolation. Why are you judging the single mother who's trying to take care of her child? She turns on the TV and guess who she sees? Skater Boy rocking up MTV. She calls up her friends. They already know. And they got tickets to his show. So she tags along and stands in the crowd, looks up at the man that she turned down. That's the ultimate ponage, right? I'm on TRL with Carson Daly, and you're just in the audience looking up at me. You said no to me when I was nobody, and now that I'm somebody. And then Avril Lavigne gets a little petty. She starts going for the jugular. "Sorry, girl, you missed out. Well, tough luck. The boy's mine now. We are more than just good friends. This is how the story ends." That's just it. You guys end up together, cut to credits, the movie's over, the relationship doesn't live on after that. 5 years, no need to look 5 years into the future, Avril. Maybe this song is triggering me just a little. Too bad that you couldn't see the man that boy could be. There is more that meets the eye. I see the soul that's inside. Apparently she can't see the soul in this girl because she's judging the fuck out of her. A little funny, a song about accepting a person because they look a little rough for the artists they are, for what they can create, and not how they look on the outside. Avril's over here like, you're gonna get pregnant, bitch. You're gonna be watching MTV, sitting on a couch, feeding your dumb baby, wishing you got with this boy from high school. I am gonna be the one backstage singing the song we wrote, so we showed him. This isn't really where her intentions are. This doesn't seem to be where her musical leanings are. It sounds like she's more at home with that heavier rock ballad dramatic music. And given with how her career has sort of turned out, I think that's where she's more comfortable with. Almost like adopting pop punk aesthetics, sells enough albums to get the studio or bigger record labels to look at you. It doesn't quite line up. Just look at any band that's ever been signed on Fueled by Ramen. Does Avril Lavigne need to be canceled for this song? I don't think so. You know, just like the Vegas of like saying the shit for the kids, for the teens, for that MTV audience. Like, this is the first song that I'm gonna give a soft slam it to. It's not an entire slam. Let's see if she can redeem it. Okay. This is the first one that has actually brought me back. But not because I had an attachment to the song, but because this song was featured in a very touching episode of Scrubs. Vaguely remember the image of Elliot at a bus station and it's snowing, or did JD leave another indistinct blonde alone? The skater boy dilemma is over, so we're back to slow, soft, adult alternative rock. Now it's time to get emotional. This is the one they'll seen on The Voice or American Idol or whatever people see. This will be the one that people cut wedding footage to. This one will be the one that we dance to at the prom, because it is a damn cold night. Trying to figure out this life. Won't you take me by the hand? Take me somewhere new. I don't know who you are, but I'm with you. I'm with you. Images of her standing on a bridge, waiting in the dark. Maybe she had suicidal tendencies. Why are you throwing that at me after a fun, whimsical tell about how you fuck this girl's crush? But the lyrics are just vague enough where it's like, if you're religious, then you can take the person who's taking you by the hand to mean God. Kind of vague notions of spirituality flowing through it. I'm looking for a place. I'm searching for a face. Is anyone here I know? Because nothing's going right and everything's a mess. What was that show where they took the song, What If God Was One of Us, a little too literally? Is this the one where she talked to God? Where God would talk to her? So much blonde striping going on. My God. I'm with you. A very touching song. It being cold and someone vaguely, anyone take me by the hand. Repeat. I'm with you gets a soft jam it for that personal connection. And yes, I'll admit when my biases are front and center, but I'll also move right the fuck on once they come up. This song took a very different turn than I thought it would. It's titled Mobile. Now, mobile has many different meanings. A mobile phone, a mobile station, a mobile home, something that is moving, something that can be moved. And when the first line is, went back home again, this sucks, gotta pack up and leave again, I'm assuming not having enough money to really settle in one place, having to travel from house to house, much like a mobile home is being pushed from one plot of land to another. But it actually turns out that she means she's mobile. She is the mobile one. I'm not stationary, baby. I'm mobile. Hey, Avril, where you living these days? Me, man, I'm mobile. Sorta sounds like she just heard the term for the first time and felt like it would be a good hook for a song. Everything's changing. This life isn't constant. People are moving. The world is so drastic. She's not really speaking to the world as a whole. She's not really talking about like social issues or economics. She's speaking towards herself. Everything's changing in my life. She's probably pretty young at this point. Born in 1984. A dangerous year to be alive. So at this point in 2002, she would be 18 years old. Dear Avril is but a baby girl, still a teenager. Maybe she hasn't even graduated high school at this point. I don't know how the Canadian system works. Do you even have schools up there? That knowledge that she is only 18 really does make a lot of sense with the subject matter of the songs, with how she sings them. It feels like a more mature sound, alternative sound, but it's given to this child, but a kid who does not know the world around them. This song is going to be a soft slam it to me. I don't think anything thus far has been outright bad or terrible. I just don't like it. Either you're too young to be able to articulate these emotions in a more interesting way, or this is too watered down to really connect to any one single person. I take back what I said. This is the first genuinely bad song that I have heard her make. I mean, besides all the other really terrible songs that I've heard her make. Is this supposed to be like the demonstration of her voice? This is the song for her to really get it out? I don't understand why she's so breathy. Is this how she was trained? Avril Lavigne almost feels like she's trying to put on this R&B voice, this powerful voice that she just doesn't have. And I personally have never been impressed by anyone's singing abilities. That's why I like punk music so much. It embraces the emotions and the people and not necessarily how they sound or the music that they're making. It takes a really long time to get into the song. The chorus doesn't show up till almost a minute in, and all we have is this beginning. When I'm sitting here counting the fucking time for you to come in, bring the song with you, and the words you have is, oh yeah, yeah. Another very moody one. You don't know me. Don't ignore me. You don't want me there. You just shut me out. Her being unwanted. A feeling that we can relate to. In young love, feeling like someone's ghosting you, feeling like someone's shutting you out. You would feel like you are not wanted there, like your presence isn't being appreciated, which could lead to you feeling like the world is changing and no one understands, like you're lost on a bench and it's a damn cold night and you're just waiting for someone to grab your hand. This is territory that we have treaded, and I sure hope that this is not that goddamn skater boy hurting you. A song can be passionate, a song can be about something very real and very sad, and still be kinda trash. Giving this one a total slam it, but a total slam it for this album, so. Oh great, let's bring it down, Avril. Let's bring the mood down. I think what's annoying me the most about this album, or what's like pushing me back the most, is how she never really follows through on that folky acoustic guitar sound. This one is definitely the closest to being the fully constructed acoustic song, but it still fits within that very simplistic pop formula. If we were to look at some icons of the Canadian folk scene, look at early Tegan and Sarah. Every song was crafted to be that song, to be played as stripped down as possible. But when they did start adding in other instrumentation, like on So Jealousy, it fit within this folk aesthetic. It feels like Avril Lavigne is being sort of held back by this pop formula. This formula It's doing her a little dirty. And you can tell that she's stretched thin with how by the time we get to the third chorus, all we have left to say is hey and yeah or law or shit, let's do the chorus again. Has it been enough time? There's hints of sassiness. There's hints of personality when she says, yeah, I try to believe you, but I don't. And that's what I want from her. I want that cute, fun sassiness to come through the music. It just feels like it's being muted right now. Tomorrow gets a soft slam it.
Is it enough to love? Is it enough?
Okay, well now she's just trying to insult me. Was Avril the dark girl in her high school? The weird gothy girl that people are like, oh, she's dark. There's something dangerous about her. She feels a need in this song to kind of prove her darkness, to prove her weirdness, that she isn't like other girls. I get so weird. I even freak myself out. I'm just like, ugh, and I'm like, ugh. I laugh myself to sleep. It's my lullaby. She's just sitting there in her bed cackling to herself like a witch. Sometimes I drive so fast just to feel the danger. I want to scream. It makes me feel alive. That's pretty crazy, girl. Would hate to be in a car with you. It's the unfortunate effect of being young and being told that these are good and cool things to say. Is it enough to love? Is it enough to breathe? Someone rip my heart out and leave me here to bleed. Is it enough to die? Somebody save my life. I'd rather be anything but ordinary, please. Almost 70s sounding acoustic bop guitars, which is starting to make Skater Boy feel so much more offensive in the sense that it is not representative of any other single moment on this entire album. Isn't that false advertising? Isn't that fucking bullshit when you get a album? Because that first song is pretty hard rock, it's pretty rock and roll, but when you put the rest of the album in, they're all downbeat fucking dad rock bum tracks. I'm looking at you, Foo Fighters. That first single is always real heavy, and then the rest of the album is a fucking snooze. So in that sense, I give it a slam jam, because it's not the worst thing to listen to, and it made me giggle a little, but it is dumb. I'm a little confused about this one. I'm a little perplexed. Main idea of the song is she wants to have this fantasy relationship. She wants to fall in love, see someone on their knees, ask for her hand in marriage. She's hurting herself by like wishing for this idea of happiness that she may never get. The confusing part though is why she felt the need to put in innuendos. If I could say what I want to say, I'd say I want to blow you away.
That's very funny, Avril. Very good. Please, let's do another take of that.
If I could say what I want to see, I want to see you go down on one knee. Wow, that was a close one. For a second, I thought he might be giving you oral sex. We really dodged a bullet there, Avril. It's supposed to be this nice fantasy, or is the real fantasy is that she wants that good to pleasure her, to see what her needs are as a person, as a woman. I'm feeling nervous trying to be so perfect because I know that you're worth it. What's wrong with my tongue? These words keep slipping away. I stutter, I stumble, like I got nothing to say. If she's trying to make a point how she wants it to be romantic, but it always comes out as sexual, then I do think that is an interesting hook, an interesting idea for a song. She just doesn't take it that far. Once again, the backing track makes it feel more sincere and serious than it actually is. I would have loved to hear this in a MySpace YouTube lo-fi version, that like sad girl electronic pop that is just so mwah. But instead, it's right in line with all the acoustic alternative tracks thus far. The innuendo is just two little tiny nods in the chorus. It's difficult to distinguish her intent with it, or really what the song is supposed to mean. And since she hasn't really been this playful on any of the other songs, I have to assume this isn't a deeper commentary beyond it kind of sounds like she's asking him to blow her in this very sweet, beautiful song. Tugging at my hair, pulling at my clothes, trying to be perfect for you. It just wasn't worth it. Sum 41, another Canadian rock band who makes songs that sound just like this. Interesting. Interesting.
Never wore a cover-up, always beat the boys up.
Did she write a country brag song about how humble and small town she is? If you're a simple girl, if you had a simple upbringing, that's fine. We all relate to songs about talking to friends in parking lots for hours, driving on blown out speakers. Those are staples of the pop punk genre. But when you're just listing out things that make you country, or things that make you hood, things that make you rock, things that make you tough, things that like make you whatever, it just always comes off as false and insecure. Let's see if I can illustrate my point. I always forgot every time someone tells me their name, it's always gotta be the same. Are you a barista? Does it really matter if you forget their name? Do you need to remember the human brain can only store so many names at once? In my world, never wore cover up, always beat up the boys. Not like other girls, am I right, Lavigne? Grew up in a 5,000 population town. Okay, they're almost up to 16,000 now, so you can fucking chill. Made my money by cutting grass because big towns don't have lawns. That is a unique experience to the small children of the greater Ontario region. Got fired by chicken fried chicken ass. That does not seem to be a franchise. You know, I always stay up without sleeping. Maybe because you're always laughing. I think to myself, where do I belong forever? Well, you are a mobile person, so do you really belong any one place forever? My eyes tune out the other way. I may switch off and go daydream. I'm just a dreamer. You can't stop me in this small town. I'm gonna break free. I'm gonna find the love of my life, and I'm finally gonna belong somewhere because I'll have purpose as a wife. Avril is making a pretty good case to maybe cancel her 18-year-old self, because this shit, not something I agree with. If her world is daydreaming, is she daydreaming that she came up in a small town, or is she saying her headspace is a small town, that she's a small, simple person? I never spend less than an hour washing my hair in the shower, but you don't wear cover up. Maybe it's time to let go, because this song is a total slam it. I'm sorry, is that a record scratching? Do we have a record scratch happening?
Feeling that don't appeal to you, let me know, and I'll go, cause I flow.
Stop! Fucking stop! No, this isn't real. She had to fucking white girl the chorus, and it fucking killed it. Who told her she could rap? Hey, on the song that Avril Lavigne is spitting rhymes, we're gonna have a record scratch behind it. Linkin Park or something. Fall back. Take a look at me and you'll see I'm for real. I feel what I can only feel. And if that don't appeal to you, let me know, cause I'll go. I flow better when my colors show, and that's the way it used to be, honestly, cause creativity could never bloom in my room. I throw it all away before I lie, so don't call me with the compromise. Hang up the phone, I've got a backbone stronger than yours. Does not rhyme. Lie, compromise, phone, and yours. And then we do the la-las, which are funny in themselves and just a parody at this point. If you're trying to turn me into someone else, it's easy to see I'm not down with that. I'm nobody's fool. So much attitude with the least amount of presentation possible. I rather this song exists than never exists. So I guess in that sense, I'm jamming it.
Every time I try to make you smile.
He chose the weed over her. The marijuana, standing there stone, alone in his zone. Am I asking for too much? You're high all the time and you're ignoring me. How many relationships has this woman gone through? At 18 years old, she's met a skater boy, a guy who's left her all alone, a man who given her hope for a future that she's scared to pursue, another one that has dumped her for weed, another one that things have changed. They have become a ghost. Maybe they're using her as a rebound. Avril, maybe you should just slow down on the gentleman for right now. He didn't call her. He ghosted her, probably because he was high, probably because all of his minutes were used calling his drug dealer. And for that, I'm gonna give this a soft slam it.
'Cause I've never felt like this before.
All right, I don't want to listen to anymore. I'm done with Avril. I'm fucking done with this. She's naked, but not physically naked, you sick No, she's naked emotionally, like she's never been before. Does it show? You see right through me, and I can't hide. Are you a ghost if you're naked? Well, I guess if you're emotionally naked, you can see through emotions. She has a formula, she has a sound. The soft guitaring, the very easy drum pattern, minor chorus that kind of picks it up just a little, not too much, enough to rock. And we're gonna do that verse, chorus, bridge with lyrics that are vague enough to relate to. Also hitting on so many points that she has hit so many times before, but then you came around, the walls just disappeared, nothing to surround me and keep me from my fears. I'm unprotected. You see how I've opened up? You made me trust you, you son of a bitch. You made me believe again that I could love because I'm a dumb, gullible little girl and I get sucked into it. So to that, I understand, Avril. I remember being a angsty little teenager. I remember being 18 and feeling like the world is changing. Things are pretty crazy. It's all out of my hands. No one understands. I can't seem to find a light through the dark. It feels like a lot of the songs center around how she is not a full person without a man in her life. I'm naked around you like I've never felt it before. You're 18. You don't have to be that emotionally vulnerable with someone. You don't have to pour all your trauma, all your shit onto another person to feel like you're being close and connecting to them. I just wish she had a little more to say, a little more agency, and a little more sassiness. I think Skater Boy is deceptive for how we remember it. Feels sort of empowering. He was a skater boy. He was a boy. He was kind of a player. And she said, see you later, boy. I don't need this in my life. I'm my own girl. But when you look at the song by itself, it's really saying, oh, you missed your chance because I'm gonna swoop in and get that guy. That guy is now with me, and you're gonna have a baby. Avril Lavigne, not quite the feminist icon one would hope her to be, but one that I can see grabbing onto the emotional whirlwind that is your teenage years, especially in a year that was so tumultuous. There was turmoil, much like there is to this very day. Things are scary. The world is changing. It's a damn cold night. Why do you have to go and make things so complicated? So sorry, Lauren Babardi. This album may not be a jam it, but I do not think it should be destroyed for all of time because I honestly don't think anyone remembers it. Doesn't leave an impact on me whatsoever. You can hear so much better Canadian folk, punk, rock, so much better voices than Avril Lavigne. This album as a whole is gonna get a soft slam it from me. That was a whole lot of Avril Lavigne. Never really listened, never really cared. I guess we're right back where we were. 2022, baby. Here's to you. I'm GreysonTodd. If you have an album or two albums that you would like me to go head to head, song v song, and find out what is good, what is worth keeping, and what is worth eating, please let me know below. Regardless, I hope you had a good time watching this. I'll catch you on the flip side. Stay posy, stay swazzy, listen to some good shit. Toodles!